Okay, so first I'm just getting a few inches of water in this tub, and then I'm going to scrub it just to get any algae or dirt in the tub before I put a blanket in. Okay, so we are almost ready to put the blanket in the tub. I'm just letting the water soak in with the bubbles of the detergent, of the laundry detergent, and I'm using Dreft. And so I did something sort of stupid. I should have gotten a before picture of what the blankets used to look like. So if anyone has any blankets that need to be cleaned that are extremely bad, I want to do a before. Like, please let me know and sign up or schedule an appointment today, because I really want to show y'all what a before and after picture looks like. And because the blankets that I'm doing right now were extremely bad. Also, yeah, like I said, I already did some of them, and I already power washed them, and because they were just extremely bad, and got all the gunk off, and I wanted to do that before I put them in the tub, just to like save me money on like detergents and stuff, and also I just want to make my tub nice and clean, and so yeah, the first thing I did was I put the blankets on top of the fence, and then I sprayed them and I hosed them down. Sometimes I'll put them on the ground where there's like tar or cement or whatever, and make sure that the ground is nice and there's no dirt or anything like that. And so that's gonna make the blankets even more dirtier. So now the tub is almost full. Now let's get the blankets in. So basically I'm kind of like splashing the suds around, making sure that like it's like fully ready. Sometimes I want to like put the blanket in until like it's almost ready to overflow, and then stop the hose from going any further, like, you know, spraying out or whatever. Okay, so now I just gotta wait for like half an hour, maybe to an hour, for these blankets to soak in, I say like 30 minutes to an hour is because it really depends on how dirty the blanket really was. But yeah, so I get really, it sometimes takes me a long time to place blankets into the water with detergent inside of it. Because sometimes the blanket wants to float on top of the water. Sometimes, I mean, it just really depends where you want the blanket or where there's much more dirty parts of the blanket. And sorry, there was a car. But yeah, so I'm going to show you reasons and what parts of the blanket I put down first, because it's very important to make sure, because I'll show you in a minute here. So basically, I like to put the top part of the blanket, to where it's top, and then the bottom part of the blanket facing down, so that way it gets more soaked in, and plus the bottom part of the blanket, it's not basically getting that dirty, and basically it's mostly sweat, so I'm trying to get as much manure, whatever, out of the blanket as much as possible, and out of there as much as possible, and it's just mostly important because this is a business, and I don't think nobody's too I don't think anybody's too worried about getting the top of the part of the blanket wet. And plus, you know what, it's because, and clean, because it's like I said, the bottom part, the inside of the blanket is the most dirtiest. And, also it depends on if your horse is sick, if it has strangles or something. And yes, I will definitely get the inside of the blanket clean too. And after it dries, the blanket dries up, then I'll have to flip the blanket over and then get the inside of the blanket clean too. Because it's well, because number one, strangles is the worst disease that a horse can carry and transfer to any other horse. So, wait for that car to go by. So, also, I mean, I should be kind of worried about tags. I don't know why, but yeah, so I really don't like bringing customers' blankets to the laundromat because their washing machines, they can wreck the buckles of the blankets or any horse equipment. But yeah, so I'll just bring my own horse equipment stuff to the laundromat because it's like, well, hey, I'm like, it's my stuff. Yeah, sure, stuff is expensive, but still, it's, yeah, it's not anybody else's, but yes. And I'm mostly worried about customers' blankets, and other horse equipment stuff, and so their stuff I'll do here instead of the laundromat. Like I said, I gotta wait for an hour, maybe 30 minutes for these blankets to soak, and then I gotta like hang them up on the fence for them to dry. And maybe after a day they should be clean. And then, but before that, I gotta make sure, like, I gotta power wash the blanket to, like, both sides, inside and outside, to get all the soap off before it dries. And I just think that this job is so satisfying just to see on how much stuff came off the blanket and etc. Like any horse equipment. Yeah, I'm not using rubber gloves because I'm warm-blooded. I don't get cold that easily. So, but yeah, so. Also, I always wanted to make sure I get the straps too because, well, you know, geldings, they can pee, and well, any gender. Oh, there's a cute little froggy, and it looks dirty. But so yes, so yeah, they will pee, they will poop on the straps and get them dirty, and want to get as much crap off the blankets as much as possible. Now, please understand, because since I'm not getting enough customers in, this is only because my prices. Now, if I were to lower my prices, it's not really worth cleaning because it's like, here I'm paying for the gas of the power washer. Here I'm paying for the detergent, and also I'm trying to put as much time to wash these blankets, and then yeah, I just have so much stuff to pay for all the stuff I'm cleaning. Okay, so now when I finally got the blanket clean, now I just gotta let it and wait for the blanket to dry. Then I can fold it up. Then like after that the blanket's folded up, I can finally wash out the tub and wash out the other tub. And like the tub that the blankets came in, and then put that blanket, because after that the blanket is finally dried after a day or so. Good thing there's water in the tub. He wants to pull himself down, but yeah. So after a day or so that the blanket is finally dried off, Chick-fil-A won't be quiet. After that, after a day, the blanket is finally dried off. I can finally put the blanket back in the tote that I finally got. The blankets that came with the tote. I can put the blankets back in the tote, but first of all, the tote needs to be cleaned, because or else it's gonna be like it's hard for them to smell clean. And the detergent I use, it is non-scented. I don't know if people can smell the detergent that I use on the blankets. I don't know, but all I know is that they told me that the blankets smell good. But because they smell better, because they can't smell horse crap on the blankets. And so hopefully this helps everyone, and they can see why my prices are basically, they have to be this expensive for me to clean blankets. And hopefully I can clean more blankets as much as possible, because this is my favorite job, keeping horses and any equine healthy. Okay, so now that the blankets are dried, now it is time to put blankets in the box. But before we do that, we gotta fold blankets, just so that way the blankets can fit into their tubs nicely and not all get all wrinkly and stuff. So let's do that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make sure the clips are buckled, just so that way, like the clips aren't dragging, or the straps aren't dragging along the ground. So now that's all. Everything's all clipped together. Now I'm going to start folding. So basically, I'm gonna try to make sure everything is up nice, nothing around the blanket. Whatever it is. So I'm gonna fold it like this, and make sure everything fits nice. Everything's all together. And then I'm gonna, and so basically the back part of the blanket goes first. And then, so basically everything goes half and half. And so, I don't know if y'all can see this, but there's like a little line from the tail part. And then I want this part to be touching, because it's the business, plus I'm OCD. Obsessive compulsive disorder. So just like this, I'm gonna lay it on top. that. So that's basically on how I fold a blanket.